Okay, I've been literally stuck in the deep molds. I've been locked in because I think I've realised that I've done nothing like creative wise in like a year since I graduated, which is literally like in a few days, a year today, and I've done nothing at all and it's stressing me out. And also I was sick, and I feel like when I get sick I go a bit loopy and I'm like, I have to do stuff, but I've not been doing anything, so I'm just like spiraling and I can't even work, I can't do anything, I'm just dead. As you can tell, I'm just dead. But a few days ago I saw MCR live, and it was life changing, not to be dramatic, not to be like, Gerard Way, you've saved me, but kind of, because also in a way it's really reinstated that I'm truly in love with anyone that is passionate and talented, because I'm in love with that man now again, even though I'm so old. It's been years, and also he is double my age, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. I can't do the maths right now because I don't want to break my heart. He was also married with children. I've got no chance. But like, truly, it's insane. I'm like, part of my brain, whenever I see something great and like creative and fun, I'm like, oh, why can't it be me? But also I'm not doing anything, and I've not done anything for a year. I've like made things here and there, but it's for the joy of life, which is also great, but nothing I felt is important. So I'm gonna start the artist way again, even though this is like the 5th time, maybe 6th, I've lost count. I've got notebooks on notebooks of me trying to attempt to start again and again and again, but that's life, so I will start again. I feel like I always run into the problem where it's a lot of God Squad kind of talk, and that stresses me out a little bit. It doesn't actually stress me out, I'm just like, ew, because that's not where I am aligned with in life, in religion and stuff, which is totally fine. And also, I feel like it talks a lot about like parents and people around you are to blame, and a lot of stuff about like negative self-talk, which one of these is you're supposed to do an affirmation. This is in week 1. You're supposed to do an affirmation where you're like, I, Ariana, am a great and prolific artist. Firstly, prolific, very hard to say, very hard to write. That's my first note. But like, I was writing that and it's supposed to be like, what negative thoughts come to mind? I mean, realistically, anyone can be great and prolific if they try. And that was like the thought in my mind of like, if you put the time and you're working, who knows, you could be. And I'm like, this isn't negative, this is very positive. So I think that's my issue, of I don't have enough negativity in my mind. And also, I've got very good surrounding of like, my parents are lovely and supportive, my friends are lovely and supportive, partners, we'll see. But like, that's also where I run into the problem. If I'm like, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm journaling, and I'm writing, and I'm doing the work, and then like 4 or 5 weeks in, I'm like, well, nothing has changed. But also, you can't really see change until the hindsight of being on the other side of things. So that's why I'm trying again. But basically, it is the 13th of July, and last year I graduated on the 16th. So I'm trying again. To have a little look, this guy is my censor. Basically, the censor is the thing that's like the negative guy. And for me, I have a little frog with a frog in his mouth because I hate the phrase. I think the phrase is like, you have to eat the frog first or something. I don't know. But like, every time I try to do that, which is like every time you try and do the worst thing first, I just don't do anything because it stresses me out too much. So that's why I'm like, this guy's the reason I don't do anything, because I get stressed out too much because I try and do the hardest thing first. It's a baby step, because I'm a perfectionist, baby. Who's to say that's not my problem? But again, I've made my contract. I've got very bad handwriting, but that's fine because I am the one that reads it. But again, the contract is, I, Ariana, understand that I am undertaking an intensive guided encounter with my own creativity. I commit myself to the 12 weeks duration of the course. I, Ariana, commit to weekly readings, daily morning pages. I'll try. Weekly artist date, which is my favourite things, and again I try, and the fulfillment of each week's tasks, which I've been told because I listen to the audiobook. I basically don't have to do all of them, which, yes, even though I literally have the free time to, even though I am in a full-time job, but I literally have the time to. But again, I'm like, less work, yay. Okay, I, Ariana, further understand that this course will raise issues and emotions for me to deal with. We'll see. Probably will. I, Ariana, commit myself to excellent self-care, adequate sleep, diet, exercise, and pampering for the duration of this course. Signed, this isn't my real signature, because I don't really have one, and date is the 13th of July, I have 2025, it's 2026. I'm a silly bean. 2026. So anyway, that's my update. That's what I'm going to try and do in life, because I need something to get me out of being just hopelessly deep down in the molds. And we'll see if this works. And I will check back in at the end of the week, or during the week. I don't know yet. Okay, last night I was supposed to do all these lovely tasks and I did none of them, and I rotted on TikTok. So today it's my day off from work, so we're gonna go have a little artist day. I have a cute little outfit on. I'm gonna have some shoes. Don't look at all my mess, that is incredibly rude, but it's cute, it matches. And also I'm going to like a funky little whimsical exhibition, so I feel like this is a vibe. Okay, my plan is I'm gonna go to South London Gallery because it has a really fun exhibition. I do not remember the name of the artist yet, but I will find out there because that's part of the fun. And then either, I feel like there's no seats in this place because I wanted to do the fun thing where you like doodle in the exhibition, but maybe I'm gonna go to a park after, or a cafe or something, and doodle there. Because I just remember as a kid, I loved like a school trip and they're like, okay kids, sit down, draw. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna be my artist day. So I'm kind of procrastinating going because I'm like, I don't really want to go out of the house, but I will because I'm so strong. Anyway, I will see you there. I overheated because I was doodling outside, and now I'm here cooling down. I've got some coconut water which I've just finished and it's so sad. But artist day, I went to Paolo Nemo Pagota. I think that's the artist's name. My accent for names are quite bad. Okay, the show was called Encantados, I think. Again, my accent, not the best. But this was the most whimsical little show ever. I love when an artist installs work and it's just like, oh, so you do not care about these rules. If you need a plinth, you need your thing on the wall, you're having a funky little time. He even had like little boxes for like someone that wants to experience it, of like touch and stuff, and I was like, that's crazy. Of like, oh, you've thought whimsical, you've done these paintings, you then installed them, you've like made these whimsical little guys everywhere, and you've even been like, hey, even further, if you want to experience it in like 4D, do you want to touch things? Do you want to touch these funky little things? I didn't touch them because I was stressed and it was quite busy. By quite busy, I'm like, because it's one room, I'm like, everyone's gonna watch me touch all these things. I'm stressed in here. But anyway, overall, so many funky, whimsical guys. I loved them. Even in the paintings, there was just so much whimsy and fun. And I also love just symbolism in art. I love, because I feel like in my youth I was like, oh, the Catholics do symbolism well. And that was a lot of the art I saw as a youth. And I was like, yeah, get it. And he has a funky little pamphlet, and I love a pamphlet. And I was reading it on the way to the park, and okay, where is it? Bringing together such disparate components from the past, present, and an imaginary world, appear to introduce us to a new universe in which established attributes of value to various objects, artifacts, and cultures are dismantled, making them for an alternative future. And I was like, that is so fun. Because I'm like, yeah, the world is how you experience it, and it's like what you put value upon. And I was like, sir, I can see that you value the world through whimsy. And like a lot of his stuff's from like Dreams, his culture, just all later good vibes. So I'm like, wow, You must have had the most fun making this. That's kind of my favourite thing from like any kind of artistic thing, so like music, exhibitions, anything where you can tell, oh, this guy had fun. This wasn't just like the job, even though of course the job is important, but it's just like, oh, you're whimsy maxing so hard and I want to join you in that, and it seems so much fun. Okay, I did my artist walk this morning on the way to work and it was very long. By long I still mean it was like 20 minutes, but it was just like a lot of silence, which is chill. But I think in the morning when I'm just like, all my emo tunes and my zest for life. But basically I journaled after, and I journaled quite a bit because I think I'm due my period, so my brain's not my friend right now, but I feel like it's kind of hard to talk to an artist person. I talk to myself a lot in my mind, of like, even on the way home I was like, should I order pizza? Do I want to spend that money? And then I was like talking to myself like, like me and me, I don't know. But I feel like talking to artist me, I'm like, who is she? I don't know. And then I think I was just spiraling of, I wrote, for me, I think my artist is always someone I was in the past and not someone I am in the present, and I feel like that's my issue. But talking to artist me, it's not like talking to me being like, what do I want for dinner? It's talking to me like little me, who really liked to like paint in the garden, little flowers. Or, I don't know, one time my dad made me and my neighbour dig a big hole to find clay, and I was like, I still don't know why. For the joy? Maybe. But it's like, that's the little artist me of like, I want to make a moshi monster. Papa, let me dig a hole. I don't even know if I asked or if he was just like, kids, get in the hole. But it's that kind of thing. Or it's even like adult me in the past of going to uni, because like I went to uni in London, which is a crazy thing to think of. Like, I'm from Bristol. It's still pretty like city vibes, but also kind of country. I don't know. But it's like going into the studio just to like talk to people about art, but also chit chat in general. Miss that. And then just like go into a studio to make things as well, if I don't really have that space anymore. And I think, again, my brain right now is not, ooh, sorry, got a message. But I think because like right now my brain is becoming evil because my period's due. So I think my walk was just a little spiral of like, the past was so good and there was so much joy in creating, and now it's just, I don't have the space for it, even though I have the time technically, because I'm scrolling all the time and I'm watching TV all the time, and there's just so much time that I'm not spending. But also like my whole life was surrounded by kind of deadlines and stuff. Okay, I'll read some of what I wrote because I feel like this sums up what I'm trying to say. Is, okay, I constantly feel like the present me isn't doing enough compared to all the joy the previous parts of me was. But I think that's the core of my issue, that I'm not focusing on the future, rather just roasting my present self, that I'm not the person in my past. But also that's impossible, because I'm not a kid anymore. I have to be an adult and I have to like work a job. I have to pay rent for my cute room. But even then it's like, so many people at my job have like side hustles for their passion, so why can't I? But also that's just me again roasting myself, comparing, oh gosh. Oh yeah, no, and then I go into it. But within this past, a main fact has always been the joy in the process of creativity. It's always been tied to an outside kind of source. Whether a friend or a deadline, there's a connection of responsibility to actually complete a task, and now all I have is me. Which is so true, because I'm like, I'm the judge, jury, executioner of all of this. I have to be the one to be like, yeah, spend your time, do this thing, which I feel like I'm quite good, but not when it comes to like the joy. Oh, it's that stupid quote that I keep saying recently of like, I went to your altar of suffering, it was beautifully clean. I went to your altar of joy, dusty. And I was like, I know, maybe that's me. But also, again, I'm aware that my brain is being evil right now. My brain is not my friend because I'm PMSing. Gosh. Okay, this was a second spiral that I was having, which I don't know why I was spiraling so hard. I think I do, but you know. But, okay, I think what I want to do and create seems so disjointed because I have no parameters. No one's telling me what to do or when. It's hard to figure out where to go when realistically, any effort in a singular direction equals voiding the other possibilities. I find I always struggle to commit to one stream because the little rebellious teen in my mind is asking, why am I? Like, why must I? And then the adult always has to be like, that's how you become successful, is consistency in one path. But the rebel in me is like, Ariana, no, I don't have to do that. But it just equates to me kind of arguing with myself and having no action. Because I think that's the only thing that actually changes is action. But I can't do that right now because I'm stuck and I'm not spending the time to create the joy and creativity of past me. I'm just roasting present me, which is like fucking up future me because she's not doing anything and she knows more than me. Also, future me is literally tomorrow. Anyway, this was a spiral. My artist walk was a spiral. It wasn't even like, what do I want to make? It was like, what are you doing? And my response is, I don't know what I'm doing. And then we're just fighting each other. Artist me and present me. But also that should be the same person. But it's not. Anyway, that was my lovely little task that I did. I preferred the artist date if I'm honest, but obviously the joy and fun of a little doodle in a park's gonna be better than talking to yourself, not just about dinner, even though now I need to go make dinner. And I think I'm gonna do some more tasks tonight. I'm gonna see, even though my brain doesn't want to, but I'm like, it's only 9 p.m. I make dinner, I tidy, I be an adult person, I get ready for work tomorrow. Yay. Okay, it's Sunday, which means it's, I was gonna say day one. Week one is gonna be over by the end of today, but also it's Spain's playing, so I'm not gonna have time later. But okay, the roundup, all morning pages done. I did start on Tuesday, so I've technically done 6 out of 7, but like, I couldn't start on day one because I didn't finish the chapter until end of day one, so I was like, oops, I just realised I've got so much mascara right here. Okay, now let's stop distracting me. And okay, I did like, out of 10, I did like 5 of the tasks. Some of them I was just like, no. But also I've had a busy week. I say that even though it's been fine. But okay, I did artist walk, super fun. I did artist date, super fun. I had my little drawing in the park and I don't think I showed them. Okay, we started with funky little guys. That was inspired by him because I was like, I really like this guy. I love an owl and now I'm like kind of obsessed with owls. So I had to redraw his little owl. I've got trumpet boys, super fun. I then did more owls because I was like, yay. And then I was like, he did like a fun little picture, got more guys out of it. The frog is back. The frog is still stressing me out, but that's okay. And then I think I just got funky with it. I was like, what's around? Have a fun time. I did little deer girls. They're having a frolic. They're staring you down. Not in a weird way. They're not scary, I swear. But anyway, had that. That was fun. Creative enemies. I did a deep dive and like, I actually kind of hated most of my art teachers. Not most of them, but like I feel like I never had that fun thing of like, this is who inspired me to like study art. And most of them were kind of mean. Not most of them. Like, I only had to list 3, and all of them were teachers. All of them were people being like, you're bad, and putting pressure on me. But like, it's not even that it was bad. It's, okay, one of them was like, deep dive, a creative wound. And it was literally just me being like my end of first year. Firstly was COVID. Secondly, everything was shut down. And also COVID. Stressed. I was in uni halls. And then the end of year like presentation was obviously on Teams because everything else was broken. And it was just like him roasting me publicly, being like, really superficial and I don't like this. And it was nothing constructive, and like at the time I was like very focused on like feminism and feminist art. very fun. And he was literally like, I don't want to touch your topic with a 10-foot pole. Insane thing to say. And I was like, you're a teacher? Wait, no, I literally wrote down something that really made me giggle at the time, which was, it's wild that he can be so academic but literally not teach anything, because there's nothing constructive. If someone does not like something and they're still giving constructive criticism, amazing. I enjoy that. If you're literally just like saying, no, I don't like it, at least give it a reason. At least be like, blah blah blah, this is why I hate you. And that I can accept. That can be like, okay, I hear what you were saying. I don't have to agree with it because opinions are opinions. But it was wild. Anyway, I'm gonna say this counts as a letter of defending myself. I can't speak. This counts as a letter of defending myself. This is a court now. I win. It's also wild. Anyway, the ones I didn't do was like creative champions. So I feel like I know who those are in life. If I have many, maybe I should have written a thank you letter. I'll see if I have time during my day before I go to work and have fun watching football. I'm very excited. But yeah, I did morning pages. Morning pages were very fun. I did have like a crisis of like, if I die, these are gonna be so boring. They're gonna be like, what should I wear today? I can't wait to eat breakfast. Like, I don't know, but that's me judging it. I'm not supposed to judge the pages. I'm supposed to write the pages just to write the pages. Anyway, I think that's literally, oh my gosh, wait, imaginary lives. I've got my 5 imaginary lives as well. I did that task because I was like, this is always fun. Okay, one of them is a pop star, because as a child I was like, Mummy, I want to be a pop star. She was like, no, that's insane. You shouldn't do that. And I was like, valid. Looking back, valid. Me being literally 5, being like, I'm in choir, let me be a pop star, Mummy. Anyway, that was one. I also have a baker because I love to bake good kind of story. So that's why I'm like, that could be me. I could be an iconic little baker girl. I don't know. It's a rom-com. One of them, nail artist, because I used to love nails, doing nails as a child. Right now, it's awful. Don't look at them too hard. And number 4 was a gardener, because again, I feel like that's a very whimsical little thing. I feel like whimsical garden. But also I know in reality that's literally not how gardens work. I feel like if you're a gardener, it's very not whimsy. Unless it's for yourself. Maybe it's a self-employed gardener, just for my garden, which I don't own. Okay, and number 5 was a rogue one, which was graphic shirt designer. I don't know where that came from. I think that's just fun. Anyway, that's literally the end of this week. Out of 10, I did it. That's all that matters. And I think there's either 12 or 14 weeks. 12, I don't know. But week 1 is done. And I will be back. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, but no one's gonna see me for a whole week, hopefully. I hope they stay on top of this time. But yeah, I will see you later. And also compliment my cute little hair, because I am unsure about it, and I feel like it's one of those things I'm gonna walk outside and everyone's gonna be like, you don't normally do this. I see you. I'm judging. I don't know. I feel like I need some bobby pins. Not the point. I will see you next week.